So I love subscription-based businesses. I love membership businesses. So to scale it, it all starts with the people. It all starts with the people that are going to connect with the members, right? So you have to find people that are really into developing a process, a system, a program around memberships and around getting people to come back over and over and over.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Going Beyond the Deal podcast. I actually have an old friend on the show today. Not saying that he is old. I'm saying our relationship is old. And when we first got on ahead of this, I was like, do you remember who I am? And he does remember who I am. Mr. Jeff Silbert, co-founder of 10 Hand and Stone massage and facial spas, as well as the new Moxie, which is a new franchise here that they are opening up in New Jersey. Silbert Partners, I've known Jeff and Ken now for probably 7 years as brothers. But looking forward to the conversation. Jeff, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for reaching out, Michael. We haven't talked in a while, but I was pretty excited when you reached out. So good to reconnect with you. For sure.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So, I mean, a lot of the listeners here know that I am really big into health and wellness. And the way we originally met was I was your banker for a time when I was at First Bank working under Mr. Dave DeStefano, who's a very, very close friend of mine. But Jeff, talk about your journey from you graduated college. Where did you go from there? And then how did you end up in this franchise space?
So I started off as a software consultant at Anderson Consulting Accenture way back in the day. And, I could code and I could do everything you needed to do, but I wasn't amazing at it. I wasn't an amazing coder. It was a huge company, really wasn't my thing either, but it was great training, met a lot of great people and really enjoyed the experience. I went back to business school at Duke in North Carolina. And then I switched over to what I really like is early stage companies making stuff happen at the beginning of the journey. What I found is I didn't like being at stage zero right when it's created. I enjoy once it's been going up a little bit. So I did I worked at Discovery Channel where they had a little offshoot division. I worked at some startups both in DC and Virginia, and New Jersey, one in Manhattan. A lot of them were membership businesses and they were venture backed. And then I ended up having a little consulting firm where I was helping business owners that were entrepreneurs. And then Ken and I, who's my brother, we ended up deciding to do something together in 2010. And that's how we ended up deciding on Hand and Stone, membership business. And we ended up opening 10 Hand and Stones. And then about 5 years ago, we ended up connecting with Moxie and the twins, who are the Moxie twins. They own they have a franchise in New Jersey. And we ended up connecting with them. And we're the regional developers for New Jersey. And we also have a salon here as well.
Very cool. Very cool. So I just want to touch back on something that you said before. So you don't like at 0.0. You like a little bit beyond that. So how do you define that?
I like when somebody already has the idea and is trying to scale it. The early stage of trying to scale the business. So there's the founders. They have an idea. They know what they want to do, and then I like to connect with them at that stage. And I like when the idea gets my heart pumping, where I call it thinking about it in the shower. If I'm thinking about the idea in the shower, that's when I get excited about it. So that's
is it pre-revenue or is it after they start? Does it have to be a proven concept that's making some money?
It can be pre-revenue or it can be revenue. I've done both. I've done both. Yeah.
Now, what is, when you're standing in the shower thinking about these things, or you're going for a run, you're on the treadmill, whatever you're doing, and you're thinking about these businesses, what are the things that really gets your juices flowing? Like, what's the thing that gets you pumped up about a business? And is it something where you're saying, like, if I don't have that feeling, I'm not willing to work with them? Or is there something special about a business that really gets your juices flowing?
Well, one is the people. I really want to connect with the people. I want high integrity people, ambitious people, somebody who wants to try to make something happen and is really willing to go all in to make it happen. Second thing is I love a good business model. I want to find something that I think is interesting, that could scale and could end up being this huge, huge thing. And I want to enjoy or think that the huge thing is personally interesting to me. So I'm not going to do something that where maybe I like the people and it could scale, but I don't really have any interest in it. So I've passed on things like that as well.
And then, I mean, another big thing is you guys have always been into membership-based businesses. Can you speak to that a little bit? I mean, when I think of a membership-based business, I think client experience and I think client journey. How do you look at these businesses when you're looking to scale them? I mean, what are the key components of scaling a membership business like this?
Yeah, so I love subscription-based businesses. I love membership businesses. So to scale it, it all starts with the people. It all starts with the people that are going to connect with the members, right? So you have to find people that are really into developing a process, a system, a program around memberships and around getting people to come back over and over and over. So the key steps are, one is, are you getting enough people in the top of the funnel? So there's the top of the funnel, people coming in, and then you're going to get some of those people are going to join and some of those people are going to become members. And so so basically I love that funnel idea of trying to get people into the top and then getting people to come out through the bottom and becoming members. What's great about it from a business point of view is you're going to have a certain amount of revenue per month, which then allows you to invest in your people and allows you to invest in the business.
Very cool. So, I mean, with a Hand and Stone or a Moxie, I'm sure they hand you a playbook as a franchisee to say like, hey, this is what we've seen in the past that really works. How do you then, as someone that is kind of an expert at scaling businesses like that, how do the two things, meld together where you don't want to like really step on the toes of the people of Hand and Stone that said, hey, this is the way we've done it and this is the way we've been successful? How do you have some of that artistic creativity or flexibility in it?
It's a great point. If you're going to be a franchisee, you have to follow the playbook of the franchisee. If you don't believe in the playbook of the franchisee, don't become a franchisee of that franchisor, right? So you really have to, you have to believe that they know what they're doing, that they're trying to get better, that they're listening to you, they're listening to the clients, and they're going to keep evolving and keep making it better. So you want to be really good at following their playbook, but you can, what I do like is I like getting in early where you get to know the people running it from corporate and the founders, and then you can have a say and an impact on making it evolve over time. Because the key, just like for any other business, is the franchisor has to evolve over time so it gets better and better. But I do like getting in early with the franchisor for the reasons I talked about before. The key thing to being a good franchisee is listening to the franchisor, really helping the franchisor be successful, and being on the same side of the boat with them and not arguing with them and just saying things that are negative all the time. You should be somebody who's trying to help them make it happen, right? And then the key for me is building a team that really believes in what the franchisor is trying to accomplish. So at Hand and Stone, the mission for us and for Hand and Stone is to provide the best 1 hour of the month for as many clients as possible. So we want to hire staff that believes that that's a neat mission, that's a neat way to spend a life, to make a living.
So, I mean, a lot of your time, I'm sure, is just spent really developing those team members more than anything, I would imagine.
The key is spend a lot of time on interviewing, finding the right kind of people that have high integrity and that have a growth mindset, that want to be coached, that like the space they're in, and just want to get at it every day.
Very cool. So let's go back in time. What was the year that you guys opened your first location?
We signed the paperwork We know the dates very well. December 20th, 2010 with Hand and Stone. And then we signed the paperwork with Moxie 10 years later to the day, December 20th, 2020.
Wow. So we're going to be celebrating the 15-year anniversary of the first Hand and Stone this year. Very cool.
Yeah. So we opened the first two in 2011, September and October and November 2011. We opened our first two Hand and Stones. One in Emerson, New Jersey, and the other one was in Aberdeen, New Jersey, which is right down the street from me.
Very cool. So when you guys decided that you were going to do this, I mean, how many other businesses did you look at before you decided to go with Hand and Stone?
Oh, we looked at a ton. Ken was actually looking at it before me. I had a small consulting practice, as I was mentioning to you before, for business owners that were in Manhattan, and Ken had hired an investment bank actually to try to find a suitable business to buy. He brought me in to help him. And so we started looking at a bunch of businesses to buy. Either they weren't doing well, or they were doing very well and they wanted way too much money, or they were complete turnarounds. And so then we started looking at franchisors, and we settled on after looking at a bunch of franchises, we settled on the membership category, and then we found the spa category, and then we ended up finding Hand and Stone. And we loved the founder, we loved the CEO, and I was based in New Jersey at the time, so it was so a lot.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. So now, I mean, when you guys originally, got into this, you had to use your own money to get it. I mean, how does the average everyday person, if they have that entrepreneurial spirit that's interested in doing something and building something on their own, how can the average everyday person potentially enter this franchise market? I mean, is there a clear path? I mean, is it SBA financing? Is it a home equity loan? I mean, how do you get into these things? I mean, I don't know what it costs to get into a business like this.
Yeah, it's going to range. You want to find the concept first. So you want to find, again, if you own, there's concepts that can cost a few million. The concepts I'm talking about are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe 500,000, maybe a little less, a little more to get going. And basically you get the FDD. And then, like you said, it's kind of an and. Could be an SBA loan, could be mortgaging your house, right? Could be kicking up friends and family to give you money. It could be, if you have some assets, taking a loan against your assets. So it's whatever way you can make it happen. SBA loan, Ken and I didn't do an SBA loan. We've done loans through banks. They weren't SBA loans, but I know a bunch of franchisees that have gone the SBA route, and that works well generally as well.
Very cool. Very cool. So from 2 to 10, when did you know that it was time to go for another one? I mean, how long did it take you to feel comfortable, for you and your brother to feel comfortable to say, hey, we're gonna continue to grow this and scale this?
Well, we committed to 10 right off the bat. So nice. we felt good about it. There were other concepts that were around at the time. Massage Envy was around heavy in New Jersey. They already had hundreds of locations. I think when we signed the Hand and Stone paperwork, they were somewhere between 40 and 50. So it was newer, but we knew that the model worked. So we were confident that it was all on us, that it was execution risk, but not brand risk or business model risk. If we can execute, we'll do well.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's get into Moxie. I mean, what made you think about getting into branding? I guess my thing is once I knew I had a really good thing going with one particular brand, I would want to just continue to go with that one thing and rinse and repeat, right? Because if I can do it once, I can do it twice, I can do it 10 times. Why couldn't I do it 50 times? What made you guys decide to pause on the Hand and Stone side and get into Moxie? I mean, I don't know. Some entrepreneurs just get a little itchy and they get tired of the one thing, so they just want to try something new. Mm-hmm. But what was it for you guys?
Well, we got to 10, and we were like, we could open another one. We could open another 2. So it wouldn't have made that big a difference. And we still may open more, or we may we may buy from somebody else, but we haven't done that in the last few years. So what would get us excited? Get back to thinking about it in the shower kind of feeling. It wasn't opening one or two more Hand and Stones. I guess if we would open 30, that would have been exciting thinking about it in the shower. But the way we decided to go was diversification, finding another brand that we felt good, that we can get in early, and that we can help them scale the business. So for us, it was looking for another concept that we felt good about, that gets our energy going, that gets us thinking about things. And also it's been helpful. Having Moxie has helped us with ideas for Hand and Stone. For example, Moxie's really good at using social media before and after photos to drive introductions. And we've been working on bringing that into Hand and Stone. So there's definitely some leverage points of being in a different brand that can filter back into the first brand.
Very cool. Now, where did Moxie start?
Moxie's up north. It was in Montclair. The founders have a location in Kinnelon, New Jersey, and they live in Kinnelon. It's two twins called Jamie and Jen. They're amazing. They're twins. They've been doing it since they've been in high school. And it's very exciting to work with them. But we love the CEO, Mike, and the third founder is Victor, is their uncle. So just fun getting in early and being able to work with them and trying to help them make it. What's exciting for Ken and I is trying to help make it a national brand. Can we help them do for Moxie what Hand and Stone is now, which is basically a national brand in the wellness category. Right.
Very cool. So how many locations are there for Moxie?
There's in the early 30s right now.
Okay. And where are they located?
Predominantly in New Jersey, although they're in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Connecticut, New York.
All right. So how are we going to make this national then?
But that's what we're working on, one by one.
One by one?
The key is the systems and the processes, right? The key is the New Jersey salons are doing great. The key is getting the salons outside the state to follow the systems and processes and have them do great as well. Because basically you need a playbook for the salons or for the franchisees outside of your home market to follow and to do well. So that's always the key, is finding franchisees that are coachable, that are willing to follow the process, and they're willing to hit it hard every day.
Very cool. So let me ask you this then. My investment banking brain is in my coaching brain is starting to turn now. You can maybe see the smoke coming at my ears. Do you think that someone that might have their own salon somewhere out there that's kind of running into those challenges that doesn't necessarily have that playbook, would it maybe make sense to, bring in Moxie then to kind of take over one of these places to really, start to scale it? Because most business owners don't have a playbook. A lot of these single owner stores just don't have playbooks. And the people that have the playbooks start to wipe them all out after a while.
It's funny you say that. So yes, but so Moxie's taken over some salons where the owner just doesn't want to run it anymore or decided to switch it over to Moxie. So if we do it differently than a traditional mom and pop salon. So if you're stuck in your old ways and you want to keep doing it the way you've been doing it, then Moxie's not going to be a good fit, right? But if you're open to fresh ideas and running it differently, Moxie can be a great fit. We've also, as I said, we've taken some locations where the mom and pop couldn't make it anymore, and then it's been flipped and turned into a Moxie because it already has, maybe you have to change the cosmetics a little bit, the look and feel a little bit, but you can turn it into a Moxie. So a couple things. One is we have a team-based model. So the traditional model for stylists is everybody's out for their own, everybody is individual, everybody brings their book of business, right? Everybody's in their own silo. Ours is much more of a team-based environment.
Can you get into that a little bit more? I really like that. Tell me more about this team-based environment.
So we don't need we don't need the stylist bringing clients to us. We'll supply the clients. So we're applying a business approach to the salon industry. So basically we will find the clients. you just have to give us the hours that you're going to work, and you have to get really good at being a stylist. You have to keep getting better at being a stylist, both technically on providing either blowouts or haircuts or color and or extensions, but also on communicating with the client and being able, sometimes if it's busy, we could have 2, 3, 4 people working on one person's hair, right?
Wow.
So it's a different vibe. So you need a certain kind of client that likes a busy, exciting vibe, and you need a certain kind of stylist that likes that kind of vibe as well.
Got it.
And then also we have a manager running it, Ken and I, who is not a stylist, which is also a different model. Like in hand, so you don't need to have a stylist running the salon. You need somebody who's very good with people, very good at hiring staff, coaching staff, very good with clients. So bringing a business process, a hospitality process. I'm a big fan of Danny Meyer. I'm sure you know Danny Meyer. Yep. For the restaurant industry and light and hospitality. So we bring a lot of that approach to the salon industry.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I am such a creature of habit. I literally drive an hour still to go get my haircut because I go to the same person all the time. Like, I don't ever want to change because I find it so challenging. And what's really interesting to me is like talking to my wife and different people. It's like once they find somebody, they're going to be super, super loyal, to it. But I think by creating that experience that you have when you walk through the door, that could be very, very, very magical for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're predominantly women as our client base, and every woman has a stylist generally, unless they're moving, right? And so one of our entry points is a blowout. So not everybody gets a blowout on a regular basis. So a lot of our clients will come in because they want to get a blowout on a regular basis. They end up joining our membership for the blowouts. They end up building a rapport with us, connecting with us. And then over time, they build that level of trust so that they are comfortable having us do other things for them. Color for their hair, haircuts, extensions, whatever it may be, they build up that level of trust.
Got it. So, as far as the wellness space in general, what makes this category such a powerful space? I mean, why do you think people are paying attention to it now?
Well, for me, it's a great space to be in. If you think about it, a lot of the problems have been solved. Most people, we have enough food, we have a place to live. So we're on the next level of taking care of ourselves, right? And so wellness is all about taking care of ourselves and feeling better. So as for me, it's fun to be in the space because it's fun to try to help somebody else have a better life, right? It's fun for the right kind of staff to do that. And then it's fun for the client to be seeing a material change. If you, for instance, at Moxie, if you can transform the way they look and make them feel amazing on the inside, they can then go out and I find they can have a better relationship with their spouse, a better relationship with their kids, with their friends. They're more confident. So they end up having a better life. And then they impact those other people to have a better life. So to me, I call it a ding in the neighborhood. So I got Steve Jobs would talk about the ding in the universe at a commencement address years and years ago. Yeah. So for us is we're making a little ding in the neighborhood. We're making, like the show Cheers. We're a little place where they're coming in for a massage or a facial or coming into Moxie to get your hair done, where our staff is going to make your life a little better and you're going to make our lives a little better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go back 5 years ago in a couple of months. How was COVID in everything that you guys were doing? Were you, as an owner, I mean, at that point you had 10 locations open up hand and stone, all this stuff. I mean, whole world shuts down. My wife was cutting, actually I started getting a really sick, curl coming out from under here because I couldn't get my hair cut.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a massage. What was that like for you guys?
It was in the beginning. It was very stressful. When it first happened, for the first few months, it was very stressful. We had to close. Our professionals are paid by working, and they couldn't work. So it was just a very stressful time, like it was for everybody. There was nothing like our experience wasn't different than other people's experiences. It just was a very, very stressful time, and you didn't know when it was gonna end, right? That was it seems like such a surreal time to look back 5 years ago, with everybody wearing a mask. Nobody knew what was the right thing to do. We could all say now what the right thing is to do, but nobody knew back then what was the right thing to do. I remember when it first happened, I went to one of our spas to get a service done to show them that it's still safe to go, like a day before everything got shut down. Because I didn't know. I didn't know, right? So you're just doing what you think is the right thing at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long were you guys shut down for? When could you reopen? And then, did you see a real slowdown and then have to build back up? Was there anything you had to do or change with the model to really get it, back up and going?
We were shut down from, I don't know when it happened. I think it was late March. And then I think we opened massage in late June. And a week or two later, the state allowed us to open up on the skincare side. So the neat thing about our model is it's a membership business, and our packages roll over, and you can use them if you get a massage or a facial, you can then get upgrades and use multiple packages. So the majority of our clients let us charge them the monthly fee.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Which was great. Some didn't, obviously, but way more let us do it than you would have imagined, because they believed in us. They know we're a small business in the community, and they knew that they wanted us to be there for the long term. And we had built a certain level of trust with them over the years that we've been open. So that was one of the neat things, how much the clients let us to continue to bill them during the pandemic, knowing that we would do the right thing when we came out of it.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's talk about life beyond business. How do you, with all of these different things, multiple locations, sourcing more locations, trying to find new franchisees for Moxy, how do you maintain your own focus and energy and vitality?
Yeah, the key for me is, and I think it's for everybody, it's who you choose to hang out with. So if you're not happy with your life, hang out with different people. So the biggest way to impact your life is choose who you hang out with. So for me, it's hanging out with my wife and my kids. It's hanging out with the people that run the businesses with me. It's I belong to a business owner group called EO, and hanging out with other business owners that are trying to have a better life and help me have a better life. Having core groups of friends that we call the no judgment zone. We're all just going to help each other have better lives, right? So it's choosing who you hang out with and helping them have better life, and then they help me have a better life. So to me, that's key.
All right. So nobody knows, this will probably get released in like a week or so, but the latest podcast that's dropping this week, it's called the No Asshole Rule. You live the no asshole rule. It's like whoever is within your circle, like there's no assholes allowed. Like only people that are going to lift you up.
I'm going to try to help them not be like that, for sure. I'm going to try to help them not be a judgy. One of my daughters is going to say, "What are you talking about, Dad? You judge, you do that." I try to do it less, and basically what you can do is notice it in yourself. So I do meditate as an example. So I notice my thoughts. So my thoughts are, oh, I'm judging that person. Why am I judging that person? That person's just trying to get through life just like me. They're no better. They're no worse than me. Life can be rough. cut them some slack, right?
I agree with that, but I would say, like, for me is I want to hang out with people that want to see me win just as badly as I want to see them win. Like, I mean, that's what life is all about. So I couldn't agree with you more in terms of the circle that you keep. That is super, super, super important. So you said meditation. Anything else? I mean, you're a fit guy. What else are you doing on a regular basis to keep yourself at the level you're at?
Yeah, I didn't always work out. I started working out. I do the P90X routines. I have these old
Wow.
DVDs.
Throwback.
P90X3. Yeah, Tony Horton. So you have to find something that works for you, right?
Yeah.
I'm always about what works for me will not work for somebody else, right? So you have to find what works for you, whether it's eating, being healthy, relationships. And for me, it's keep working at it. So I like to listen to podcasts. I like to read books. I like to have conversations with people about it, with other people, like you said, that want to have better lives, right? That want me to have a better life. I want them to have a better life. And they're working on it themselves. That's why, going back to that organization, EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, almost everybody in that organization is trying to have a better life, a better family, a better business, a better personal life. And just by hanging out with them, it rubs off on me, helps me hopefully be a little bit better person as well.
That was a perfect segue. I wanted to get into EO. How did you find yourself in, we say EO, so I hate using, so it's Entrepreneurial's Organization, and that's what EO stands for, just for the listeners here. But how did you get involved with that, Jeff?
So I knew about it because when I worked for one of those membership businesses in the city, the CEO had belonged to EO. And then it's 2015. I knew about it, been to the website, didn't do anything with it. We're opening our Hand and Stone location in Livingston. And one of our landlords shows up for the center wearing an EO t-shirt.
Wow.
Coming to get in a massage during our friends and family weekend. He was the current president of the organization and of EO New Jersey. And I started chatting with Mike for a little bit. And a week or two later, I joined. Back in 2015. And then flash forward, I think 2 years ago, I ended up being the president of the New Jersey chapter. And you would have told me when I first joined that I would end up being president of the chapter. I would have looked at you like you were crazy. I thought, hey, I'm going to be a taker. I'm going to just do I'm going to attend the learning events and I'm just going to take. But at some point you realize it's not about taking. It's about giving. And when you give, you feel much better about yourself and those around you. So the organization has definitely helped me in that respect, for sure.
That's been my key to life. I was just on a podcast this Friday. I mean, I give and give some more. And the more I give, the more good things come back to me. It's been a pillar of my success. So you are doing a ton of mentorship in that. I mean, give me some of the benefits and, of someone to join EO. Why would someone want to join EO? How can they get involved if they're interested?
So EO is designed for people that are running in their own business. And basically, when you run your own business, it can be lonely, right? There's a lot of stresses in running your own business. The bigger the problem, it's going to roll up to you. And so you don't really have anybody that you can talk to about. So what EO does very well, it gives you a network of relationships of other people that are going through the same things you're doing. Both when things are going amazing in your life, personal, family, and business, and when things aren't going well in your life. And business owners, just like everybody else, we have good days and we have bad days personally, with our family, and in our business. But it just allows us to hang out with other people that are going through similar things in our life. Right. And I formed really tight relationships that have made a huge impact in my life. And a lot of the other business owners that I know say the same thing.
That's amazing. So I like to ask this question to every guest that we have on the show. I call it the $1 million question. When you look back on your journey, both personally and professionally, what's one moment that really felt small at the time, but ended up changing everything?
Great question. When you say great question when you're looking to stall a little bit.
No, hey, take your time to think about it. So what's one thing that was really, it felt like nothing at the time, but it ended up changing your entire life?
One of them is deciding to as caring about other people and focusing on relationships that were important to me. So I've had friends from business school that I'll prioritize doing things with them, going on trips with them yearly. Mm-hmm. We do a golf trip, and then we'll do a snowboard trip, and I've been doing that with them for years and years and years. And just having those, getting away for 4 or 5 days, a couple times a year, investing in those relationships has really, and you have to work at it to work on having a long-term relationship with somebody who's not in your immediate vicinity. And so I just got back from a trip with them, and just hanging out with them for a few days just really helps clear the air a little bit. Remember that, I'm just a human being. They're just a human being. Everybody else, we're just human beings. Just try to get through life. And so the reason I say that, I think it helps me when chatting with either with a friend, or meeting somebody in a restaurant, or meeting a server, just realizing they're a human being, I'm a human being, and we're all just human beings. Maybe they can make me laugh. Maybe I can make them laugh. Let's have a good time. I was at Colts Neck, which I know you're from. I was talking to a server yesterday, and she was wearing an Alabama shirt yesterday. And then we ended up having a 15-minute conversation of how she ended up having an Alabama shirt. Her husband was from Alabama, and now he's called Alabama. That's his nickname. So we got into this little story that just we're all human beings. It's easy to forget that.
I love it. So I know we got the Hand and Stone locations all throughout New Jersey. Moxy, we are currently looking for potential franchisees. So I'm going to give you the mic for a second here. Who were we looking for? And if we have any listeners that are here, tuning in today, how can they get in touch with you, Jeff? The floor is yours. How do we get in touch with Jeff Silbert? How do we get in touch with the opportunities for Moxy?
Yeah, if you're looking to be, if you think you want to run your own business, and you're looking to make an impact on other people's lives, both your staff and your clients, and you care about transforming other people, Moxy can be a great fit. I recommend you look at Moxy. I recommend you look at other businesses as well. But Moxy has been great for me. I love the people I'm surrounded with, both the founders, the management team, the people on my team. Rachel is running my spa. Daisy is running operations for us. It's who I just really like, the people I'm working with, and I think it's going to become a national brand, and it's really fun to get in at this stage of the company. If you're interested in chatting with me, I'm happy to talk. My Moxy email is jsilbert@moxyfranchising.com, or you can email me at jeffsilbert@gmail.com. But any topic, I'm love to be helpful if I can.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you for going beyond the deal with me and my old friend, Jeff Silbert. I hope everyone has an amazing day, and let's continue to build something meaningful together.
Thanks for reaching out, Michael. It's been a pleasure to reconnect with you, and hopefully I'll see a little bit more of you in the next few years. Take care.
You got it.